Hello and welcome back, dear friends. I know it's been a while since I've posted something about possibly 11 months to maybe even a full year ago. Oh man, we got some stuff to cover about that. But yeah, I'm trying to get too ahead of myself. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sean Bellatin. I'm an artist, founder of Bit Night Studios. That's a little personal project of mine that I'm kind of getting a little serious about. If you're old here, welcome back. It's really good to see you. I hope you've been well. I just kind of want to get into what this whole series is about. I went back and watched my videos on this, and I feel like I owe you a little more of a clarification about what this whole thing was and what the whole point is. So, April 4th, 2025, I had a problem that was a lifetime problem, a chronic injury, if you will. I didn't realize that I was developing one the whole time. Where one day I was at a cafe, one of my favorite cafes here in town, and I couldn't draw. My hand was so weak, my dexterity was so bad. I was dropping shit and it hurt and it was exhausted, and I just started drawing, and it was a very horrifying, scary moment for me. And I tried doing some research on it. And yeah, I had a friend that insisted I go to the chiropractor. He paid for my visit, and well, he didn't pay for my visit. Actually, yes, he did because he's a great friend. He paid for my visit and convinced me to go, and I'm really glad he did because I went to the chiropractor and learned that I had developed 3 chronic injuries. I had developed medial and lateral epicondyle, as well as carpal tunnel in my major drawing hand. Woo! Not fun, especially when you're an artist who's about to start his career. It's not a good mix. So naturally, I had a very scary long ride back to recovery, and it's not over. But with that said, that was the whole point of the Reckless Apprentice. Step 1, if you will. While my drawing hand was down, I decided to do something kind of cool, which is the actual point of the Reckless Apprentice. While my right hand, my dominant hand, was fucked up and couldn't draw properly, I figured, what better way to have a bit of a spiritual and artistic revival than to do a bunch of imperfect drawings with my left hand. Alright, so with that said, instead of just showing you guys the last 3 drawings, I think I'm just going to do a quick run through about the whole series instead. That way, for you guys that know what this has been about, you kind of get left in a little bit of suspense. Sorry, but I want to kind of let the whole picture be a little more clear. So this is my sketchbook that I started this whole process in. The Reckless Apprentice, the left-hand creative prompts, also known as the Beautiful Mess, which is, basically what life feels like, let me tell you, as an artist in today's age. My prompts here are Draw Like a Kid, the Anti-Self-Portrait, Lefty Calligraphy, Draw the Music, What If Plants Had Feelings, the One-Line Scene, and Redraw Your Favorite. So with that said, the very first one here was Draw Like a Kid. It was a really fun little piece. It was a great way to start the whole thing. I was at a LAN party at some friend's house, and I was like, what should I draw, guys? And they're like, whatever, dude, don't overthink it. And so immediately that just made my brain snap, and I was thinking, well, just redraw what I did when I was a kid, duh. And I was like, I used to love drawing dragons and knights, so I just tried my hand at it again. But with my non-dominant hand, and this is what I came up with. I really loved how it looked and how it came out. Not too bad for a non-dominant hand. Yeah, let's just kind of moving along. We got a lot to cover here. The next one was the Anti-Self-Portrait, and I don't exactly remember why I ended up drawing this, of all things. I think the idea was, instead of having a portrait of myself, it's more of like capturing myself without the likeness. So this is, I forgot exactly why I ended up with this, but I definitely wasn't displeased with how it turned out. You know, little bits riding this dragon, like kind of figuring out how to conquer it. That's really cool looking. Yeah, the next one is a little more straightforward, a little more fun. Left-hand calligraphy. I just had little bit, pretty much painting his name on a wall like graffiti style. And it's so massive, you can't even see his whole name fit in there. It was a really cute little drawing. I never did tagging in my life, just to be clear, not once. So yeah, that's not an ode to anything at all. This is just a little bit of extra stuff. The Draw the Music one, I was really tempted to do something kind of cool with it, where the same dragon from earlier was like a noise dragon, and it was fire. Instead of fire breathing fire, it would fire breathe like noise. And these were just a bunch of songs I listened to, and I basically let my hand go with the beats of the songs. But I decided to keep it abstract because I'm not supposed to overthink it. It was supposed to be just really imperfectionistic and just loose and expressive. So I ended up just letting it be an abstract piece. Really straightforward. Right here, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, well, the point of the prompt was, like, how do I feel as a plant that is healing right now? And I went through a couple iterations, but my final process ended up being, though marred, the hibiscus feels solace. And I say that because hibiscus is my favorite plant, or my favorite flower for a long time, although that's getting challenged now with how much I'm learning more about flowers over my journey. And yeah, I definitely was feeling, this was definitely a time where I was getting really recluse. You can ask my friends, I disappeared from their lives pretty much while I was going through this healing process. And this is how they ended up looking. I didn't finish coloring it in time. I didn't finish shading it in time like I did whenever I was trying to do these. I was trying to do these 1 week at a time, but you guys get to see what it looked like in full. Pretty pleased with it. It was just fun. I had a little jade plant outside my front door, and I was just drawing that. Pretty straightforward. Nothing super crazy. Just a nice little piece. The next one here is the one-line scene. I do not need control to create beauty. And I just was outside in my backyard during my time off, and I just ended up I think it was blind contour drawing my backyard. There's a bunch of brush and overgrown stuff around on the fence line, and I just imagined a little bit chasing his little yellow butterfly. That's some really important symbolism that, you guys get to find out over time. But yeah, I really love blind contour drawings. They're a great way to understand the world around you, like draw what you see, and like be confident about what you draw, what you see. It doesn't have to be exact. It just has to be believable, you know. You guys get a little sneak peek here of a couple other things here. This might be a really important deity, if you will, in the world of Deltaverse. Oh man, she's so beautiful. Look at her. Oh, what's this? Oh, maybe some sketches of a little cards? Ooh, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, well, you guys aren't supposed to see that. Here we go. This is where we're trying to get to. Redraw your favorite. This is where the magic lives. Do you understand something? Does this look like a little familiar, possibly? I don't, maybe, oh, look at that! Yes, there's the little knights running away from the same dragon. Yeah, that's right, out of all the drawings, this one was my favorite. I just decided to take it in a little bit of a different direction and redraw him close up. So yeah, thank you guys for waiting forever to let me get back to you guys on finishing up what the Reckless Apprentice drawings look like. That is the whole series, and with that, we have officially finished what the Reckless Apprentice was all about as far as the prompts go. Now, with that said, I kind of want to move on into everything that's been happening, because the whole point of the Reckless Apprentice was a reclamation, a spiritual and physical reclamation. When I disappeared these 11 months between the last video and this one, I did a lot of lifestyle changes that were absolutely necessary, and I did implement them properly. Here's the problem. Whenever I was posting those videos, I was going to my chiropractor regularly, and I was recording my journey pretty much, I don't know, like once every couple weeks or once a month even. I don't remember how frequent it was, but it was very frequent. Well, once I finally got healed enough to draw again, I asked my doctor, I'm like, hey, can I draw again? I pretty much ran off sprinting to test my limits again. No surprise. Just like an anxious little child, practically. I just ran off and just started drawing like crazy again. And sure, that's where I've been. I've been disappearing, doing a lot of drawings. But the good news is that I took my lessons to heart, and all the works I've been doing have been a much more loose, imperfectionistic style. I've got a bunch of stuff I'd love to share with you, and I plan to eventually, but this video is already getting kind of long. I mainly just wanted to recap what the whole point of the Reckless Apprentice was, and show you guys what those prompts ended up being. Yeah, I'll probably give you guys a little sneak peek, okay, about some of the pieces I've been doing. Here are some time lapses of some of the drawings that I've been doing for a big old project. I'm getting closer to doing some reveals. It'll be quite exciting. I'll have to save them for later, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I got married, which is kind of cool, you know. Here's some photos. It was an absolutely gorgeous wedding. It was a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of planning. But man, you know, I am very happy I did it. I invested in a huge moment that I helped my wife and I celebrate. Outside of just our little elopement, you know, we turned it into something really big. And it was especially amazing, you know. My wife hasn't gotten celebrated very properly in her life, and one of the things I'm helping bring into her life is helping celebrate things more. So to help throw a massive wedding was pretty cool. So yeah, that happened. Let's see. I'm now at a really important stage that I really want to share with you guys. We're almost done here because it's already getting a long video, where I realized I moved from being a symptomatic patient to an asymptomatic patient, and that's where I thought I could just run off and just go off and do all I wanted. But I realized something. My doctor he's been so amazing. Shout out to Dr. Henry over at Henry Chiropractic. You are literally the best, man. Like, you have given me so much. I really can't thank you and your team enough. You guys have changed my life. You've made me realize so much about what it's like to really take care of yourself and not let work get in the way of health, you know. So this is a real big shout out, heartfelt thank you to the team over there. I wear their merch around town. Like, on the days where it's cold, they gave me some merch just for free. I've just been repping it, you know. Dr. Henry, shout out. But yeah, I want to wrap up here with some reflections. I really put myself in a trap my whole life and not realizing how bad it actually was. That, you know, life is always going to be filled with problems and goals. And you don't ever work harder to make those goals actually disappear or the problems disappear. There's just more problems and more goals. It'll never end. No overworking will get you past that, period. Still gotta try and get that shit through my thick skull. It's a little bit harder for me. I've seen people do incredible things, but it doesn't mean, you know, the problems stop coming. So yeah, that was a mistake I kept making over and over again. But I ended up just losing myself instead of losing the problems. So, I paid for it pretty badly. My drawing arm, I couldn't draw. If you go back and actually look at the way I felt in the beginning of this series, the very first video I shot, you could see how absolutely demoralized I was. I still have moments right now. Like, I'm healing really well right now. Like, I'm taking my practice really seriously, you know, with recovering. But I still have moments where, the exhaustion comes back a little bit, the tired, a bit of pain, and I swell up and I want to cry every time because it's a reminder of how I treated myself my whole life. And it's not fair. It's really not fair to myself. And so, yeah, I'm not about that shit no more, dude. And it's still, just because you stop doesn't mean, life changes immediately. It's a process. So yeah, life just happens on life's terms. You don't get to negotiate with it. Nothing's worth your health. It's just that simple. And I can tell you this much, you probably won't realize how grateful you have for health until it's compromised. So, let's close out the video because it's already been pretty long. Trust your instincts and give yourself grace, because I just watched a cheeky line from Wednesday season 2 of all things. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and over preparing can be helpful in some ways, but I'm in the business of building an imperfectionistic lifestyle that works for me. I'm not interested in hustle culture bullshit anymore because that's what fucking destroyed my arm. So anyway, Midnight Studios is on the horizon, guys, and I have some really cool stuff to share. I'm gonna try not to disappear again, but I got a lot of irons in the fire, and I'm just trying to figure out how to manage this all into a reasonable timeline that works for me, wherever I can still get involved and stay involved with my community around me, but also still do the projects I'm trying to do at the same time. But yeah, that's it. This is the Reckless recap. I really appreciate you guys for showing up. If you got anything to say, I'd love to talk about it. I'll be in the comments section. I hope I see you there. Till then, you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next time.